Welcome. I'm Ingrid Carlson, and I am so glad that you're here. This is Carrot Tootie. It's a place for journaling and creativity and making and art. And if any of those things are something that are near and dear to your heart as they are mine, I would love for you to subscribe if you're not doing so already. And make sure you hit the bell so that you get notified anytime a new video comes out. So today we are making boutique bow paperclip bookmarks. I don't know, whatever you want to call them. And I'm going to show you when I started off in the scrapbooking realm years ago, and I used to make these all the time, and they are so adorable. They go clipped in to your journal, and they're so cute. They're like the little crown on top. I absolutely adore these. I came across some when I'm in the middle of cleaning my room and reorganizing it. I ran across some of these and I thought, I've never done these on my channel, so let's do them together. What's really great about this project is you need very minimal supplies, and the way that I used to make them was with an envelope punch board. If you know what those are, I don't even know where mine is right now, but it's the We Are Memory Keepers punch board, and you can definitely make them like that. And actually, if you have a way of making them that's different than the way that I'm going to show, I'd love for you to link it down in the comments below. Let me know what your method is, and maybe we can make more of these. They're so addicting and so much fun to make. I think you're going to be making these for the rest of the week. So I wanted something a little different, and I wanted you not to have any special supplies. And so in this case, we are not going to need a punch board or a template at all. We just are going to need some pattern paper. And I find that if you print on both sides, it works out better. You can see here, this one does not have it double-sided, but you could always just cut two of these pieces and glue them together and make your own double-sided paper if you don't have access to double-sided printing or double-sided paper. I'm also going to be using a glue gun, and if you don't have a glue gun, you could use just a regular PVA glue. You'll just have to hold on to the pieces for a little bit while they adhere. You could also, to make it a little quicker, use a stapler, and it does not need to be this one, the tiny attacher. It could be any kind of stapler. You're going to need some paper clips, of course, and just for fun, I pulled out some gold glitter and then these beads that we did doing the boutique tags. And if you haven't watched that video, I will link it below, because I think these two projects kind of go hand in hand and they complement each other really well. And these are just these little rhinestones that I got from Dollar Tree. And this is a pack that I got many years ago at Michael's, and they're flat back little, I don't know what these are called. If you know the name, drop it down below. But I use tons of them, and when I used to do Happy Mail, I used to send some out, and you can still see I have tons of them. So I wanted to maybe play with some of those and use them up. And if you're using some kind of bead, I would definitely recommend that you use a glue like Art Glitter glue, and I haven't used the Bear one. I think it's called Barely Art. I'm not 100% sure. I haven't used it, but I've heard a lot of people say it's really great. Or I would use a hot glue gun. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to start off by just showing you some of these. I also actually used, you can see in these two, they have centers. This is part of fabric from a chindi rug, and this is seam binding. And this one has one, so you've got your bow and then your tails in the back. This one actually has two bows that are layered on top of each other with the tails. This same thing. I absolutely love this one. And then this one is one bow, and I'm so in love with the yellow peeking through underneath and the pink. I think it's just so pretty. and you could lay this one like this, or you can do it like this, and you've got two tails on this one. So really, sky is the limit. On this one, I tried a different technique that I used to do. I'm going to show you how to do this one as well, but this is my preferred technique. I think I like the shape of these a little bit better, but if you like it to be more shaped like this, I'm going to show you how to do that. So we are going to start off by cutting some strips of fabric. I have some already cut up, and I'm going to move this stuff out of the way. And you're going to, depending on how big you want your bow, is going to be dependent on how big you want your strip of fabric, and then how wide you want it is how wide you want your bow. So for example, this is going to give you a smaller bow, whereas this is going to give you a thicker bow. Okay, so depending on what your aesthetic that you're looking for, that's how you're going to cut. And what I did is I just took some fabrics and I just cut just strips. These are all my printables. Some of these are from Patreon. Some of these are from a Christmas kit that I absolutely love. And so I just cut, so this is the 8.5 by 11. I cut it long ways. But some of these I think are cut short ways. So really there's no rhyme or reason. It just depends on what you want. I'm going to start off with this pink because yes. And I like that background. I'm going to just pick out some pieces that that's kind of pretty. Those kind of all go. So we're going to start off with this one, and I'm going to start off with just, let's see, maybe two, yeah, let's do 2 bows with 1 tail. And I'm going to figure out first what I want my tail to be, and then what I want the bows to be, which one. I think this is going to be a bow. And I think we'll do, actually, what if, ooh, I love that one. Actually, let's do this. These are going to be my 2 bows, and then this is going to be my tails. So I start off by doing the bows. I'm going to start with the small one first, and I'm going to just determine the size of it. And I'm just going to eyeball it. So I think that that's good. Cut this piece. So my finished bow is going to look something like this. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to fold the paper in half, and it does not matter if it's creased. I'm going to start off at the end where the 2 pieces meet, and we are going to make a shape. I'm going to cut out a shape. I'm going to cut out this shape. So I'm going to go in and around like that. Okay, so we're going to do that here, and this is going to end up being our center, or the piece that, this piece right here. And so I know off the bat that I want that to be a little on the thinner side so that you can't see it from the other side. So I'm just going to go in like that, and then I like to flip it over. Oops. And it's okay. I went a little in. I promise you, it doesn't matter. And if you end up making them where they don't line up, you can always cut afterwards. So now on this side, so just so we're clear, this is going to be the pieces that kind of overlay. So now we need to cut our center piece, which is this part here. Okay, so this, I want this part to be wider than this. So I'm going to come and I'm going to make it a lot smaller. So you see here and then here. I'm going to turn it over. And I try to do it somewhat the same on both sides, but you can see that did not happen. And now I'm going to try them out. And see how it looks. And I'm happy with this. Now if you wanted to, let's say right here, this is a little angular, it's not as round, you can come in and cut that little piece off, and then that makes it more rounded. So for the gluing, it's very easy. You're just going to add some glue to the center. I'm going to hold that down, hopefully not get too much glue on my fingers. And you can use this method to make these bows out of different things. You can do felt, you could do like a stiffer fabric. Excuse me. The main thing is that if you're using fabric, it's not going, like right here we have like a very defined kind of bow, and we can push it in like this, and it's not really going anywhere with fabric. If it's not stiff, it's just gonna, you know, fold into itself. So we have our first bow here. We said this is going to be our second bow, and now this, you are going to get a lot of little pieces everywhere. I'm going to go ahead and cut this little piece off because it's just my white border, and I'm going to decide, I feel like that's too big. I feel like that's perfect. So I'm going to cut this about here. You just want these to overlap a little, and that's perfect. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to fold it in half. And when you're working with the thicker paper, it's definitely easier than the thinner pieces like this. So when you're first starting out, I would recommend go bigger, and then you can always scale down. So we're going to start with the back side, which is going to be right here. And these, remember, this can be longer. Flip it over. My paper doesn't even match up right there, so. And then this one is going to be wider here, so I'm just going to take off a little bit. I'm going to fold it. And I find that when you do them back to back, both sides, you can kind of get them a little more even. Let's open this one up. And you can experiment with the shapes that you want. If you like them more rounded, if you like them more square, if you like them, you know, more exaggerated, less exaggerated. Look at that. Look how cute that is already. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this down. Again, same way. You're going to put glue. You're going to put down one of your sides. And even with the hot glue, you want to hold it down in place for a little bit. And then the other side's going to overlap. so adorable. Look from the inside, so cute. That is so cute. Now, for the tails, for me personally, I like just putting the paper or putting the bows on top of my paper to figure out how I want the tails. So I'm going to start here. Actually, I'm going to actually cut the tails. I'm going to cut this down because I want to have both the pink and the red showing here. So I'm going to cut this down like right here, and I'm going to go up. I'm going to go diagonally. I'm going to pretend like that's the center. I'm going to keep my eye on the center here. I'm going to line up my scissors at the corner and remember where my center is and just snip to the center like that. And then I'm going to turn it and do the same thing and try to line it up, but again, it doesn't have to be perfect. And there's my first set of tails. So I think we'll go here. Oops, and that's okay if it's lopsided. So again, get my center, turn it, get my center. And that's so cute, but we're not done because as you can see, it's too wide here. So now we're going to take this and we're going to fold it in half. And we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to take it and round it and round it. And we're going to check it to make sure that the sizing is good. I think it's perfect. I was thinking it was going to be a little thick, but that is perfect. So now we are going to start assembling this, and you're going to grab your paper clip. And again, there's many ways to do this. The main thing you need to know is that your paper clip needs to be the loop, the two loops that you see need to be towards the bottom because that's what's going to clamp your papers. If you do them this way, it won't work. So I'm going to start with this. I'm actually going to start with layering the top bow onto the bottom bow. And then before we start, oops, did you see that? Some of my glue just came undone. I must not have held it in place very long. It's a little hot. I think we all have that same love-hate relationship with hot glue. It's so great because, you know, it's like instant hold, but that burn, that burn is real. Okay, so I'm going to take some glue now, like a big glob of it, and I'm going to add it to the back. And I'm going to take my paper clip and I'm going to place it inside like this. And again, the longer you hold your glue, the better. I'm going to, I'm going to go ahead and put my tails down. Did I? Yeah. Now I want to be real careful here because I do have glue. I can see it's seeping through the bottom, but I want to try not to touch it. I think I'm going to have to. Okay, let me get this off my nail. I guess that's the good part about having your nails done is you could use them somewhat as tools like that. And I feel that when it's warm, or when it's kind of a little more than warm, it's a little more on the hot side, you hold on to it and you can start feeling it getting like cooler. And once it's like just lightly warm, I think the adhesion is pretty good. Look how adorable this is. So now you can take, the easiest thing to take is fabric because it's very moldable. So I'm gonna grab, let's see, I know I had, so I have this fabric that I used on some project. So I'm gonna cut maybe about 1/2 inch with, oh, that went way over. So we'll work with it, no worries. I'm actually going to cut this off because it's crinkly and I love this, so I'll save this for something else. What I like to do is, you barely need any fabric to wrap around your bows, and so since this one's kind of thick, this is probably about 1 inch thick, so I'm going to fold it in half and I'm going to tie a bow, or a knot I should say, not a bow. And usually I like to do 2 so that it's a little more thick, or a little thicker. Okay, so that's, I like that little bow. And then this piece I'm going to take and I'm going to run it in between my paper clip. Look at how adorable that is. It's so cute. And then this, I'm going to cut this down because I don't need so much fabric here. So I'm going to start with this and I'm going to just holding on to it. I'm going to add a little bit of glue. And since I do have it folded over, I added a little bit of glue inside so that the ribbon, so like this, instead of it being like loose like that, it's going to get glued down together. And then once this is pretty dry, I'm going to kind of tautly pull it, so I don't want it to be buckling, but I also don't want it to be too loose. And I'm going to do the same thing, and I'm going to decide how much fabric I want with this one because it's the top piece, so it's the piece that we're going to be able to see. I think I'm going to kind of manipulate it like that and then glue it down right here. And I'm just going to clean up the edges just a tad. Like that. And cut this little piece off. And just like that, we finished our first little bow. How adorable is that? So cute. I absolutely love these. And if it's too fluffy for you, push it down some and you can flatten it out. What's great about paper is you can always fluff it back up. And these would be so cute added to someone's gift. tell me, like, you can make it even bigger and fluffier, more layers. So adorable. I love these. As soon as I started making them, I actually started on this last night, and I started making them, and I was falling in love with them as I was making them, and I kept making more and more to make sure that that I had my process in place, but also because I was having so much fun making them. Okay, now I'm going to show you this way of doing it, and this way is a little different. I'm going to fold a piece of paper kind of in half. I'm going to decide on my finished width here. So I'm just going to kind of estimate somewhere here. We're going to do this one very similar, except we are going to only fold it one time. And then we're going to come in, do that, but then we are going to follow that shape. So we have kind of like a little mountain, and we're going to do the same on the other side. And I feel like these tails are a little bit too big. And there you have that one. So it's easier in a way. Let me cut these more flat. It's easier in a way because it is one cut, but I like the other way better. There's just something about the other way that and this one does give you a little bit of a different look. It's almost like a little bow tie. But we can, I think that would be cute. I actually think a little, well, let's see if I can do it with this one too. So I'm going to come in, over. It almost looks like a watch. It's so cute. I don't know why. It surprises me every time. Oh, and I'm going to show you something. So see here how these don't line up. You can just go in after the fact and remove any excess like that. Voila. Nobody will ever know. And now with this one, we are going to wrap it with some paper, I think. We'll see. Let me. I have, no, I don't like that. Actually, I don't know. Well, I can take a little piece of this. I want it to be thin. And this is great to use for your scraps because you barely need. I like the flower or whatever, so you can actually, instead of putting it here where it would be just like negative space, I'm going to center the flower in there. I think that looks really cute. So let's go like that. And I'm going to fold over the first side. I'm going to clip it down because I don't want it to extend past the bow. And while I'm still holding the other one in place, I'm going to lay some glue it down. I'm going to grab my paper clip. And on this one, we're going to actually run our paper clip. I'm just going to make that smaller because I can. That way it's just easier for me to wedge my paper clip through here. And we're actually going to glue this down. And I'm going to cut the excess after. Put that into place. Oops. Oh, darn. But that's okay. It's enough to hold the paper clip in place. And I can actually, I could have done it a little different where I put the paper clip here and then wrapped it. That probably would have been more secure. So for next time, or maybe what you'll want to do is you place your paper clip down first. You can even glue it like we did on this one, and then take your fabric and run it around the paper clip, and that way you're more secure. But if you do this and you feel like, oh, I need a little bit more security, you can always cut that down. And then that paper clip is not going anywhere. And you are finishing off the back side. How cute is that? I keep saying cute, but it's adorable. I absolutely love these. And I think these are great too, not even for junk journals, but if you're also a planner, to use these in your planner. If you are a Bible journaler or just reading the Bible, then these would be great little bookmarks. Again, I think these make really great gifts, and we're going to start decorating some. I'm going to make one other one, and then we're going to decorate. And you can leave them as is, or you can decorate them to the nines. So I want to use this fabric. I think I want to use that, maybe a touch of the black, maybe that for the center. So we're going to estimate our bow. Oh, I forgot this one has that really pretty blue in the back. I want this to be a little on the smaller side. Actually, I want this to be even smaller. So we're going to start with the loose end again, or the two pieces that are not attached, and these can be longer. Pretty sure this paper's from Patreon. I feel like it was almost a year ago, even though it feels like yesterday. Let's look at our shape. Adorable. I kind of like this side though better. Don't you agree? Because of the pinks. So I'm gonna go for it. I'm not gonna worry about the seams, and they're gonna kind of get covered anyways, so. That's the great thing about creating. It's your creation. It's your story. Do whatever you want. You don't have to follow the rules here. And I feel like I have a little left over here, or it's like overlapping, so I'm gonna go and just cut that little piece off. Beautiful. And now I think that's a good size. I can't help but giggle every time I see them. It just surprises me that they're so cute. And you're gonna see, and I think this is with anything, the more that you do it, the easier that it becomes. And I just want to make those go straight instead of curved. Let's go, I'm gonna go more like with a little more exaggerated on this one, even though you're actually not going to be able to tell that much because we're going to put something on top of it. I was trying to see if the stripes would line up. They don't, so it doesn't matter. I feel like sometimes that glue comes out a little hotter than others. Definitely be careful with glue. Glue these down to each other. I think the hot glue too, it's kind of like a band-aid, just do it quick. I think that center would be really cute, even though, what about some fabric here? I have some ribbon. Oh, this is too cute. I think that's too big for here. Like, how adorable. I don't know, should we do it? It's gonna kind of get in the way of the paper clip a little bit. Should we do it? Let's do it. I think someone sent me this. If you sent me this, thank you. And I've been hoarding it because I didn't want to use it, but I think it's too pretty to pass up today. Plus, I'm just using it a little bit. I thought that was a different fabric. I thought it was just this. So I have some of that somewhere. So I think what I'm going to do, the easiest way, is just to run some glue here and then attach the ribbon that way. It's like a little skirt, a little tutu. I didn't think this through. I acted too quickly, and I need a center for the bow. So, oh, you know what we're gonna do? Let's use these as the center. So I'm going to add several. Oopsie. This one. I think that'll be really pretty. So we'll do that. And with this, I'm just going to be very haphazard. I'm just putting a glob of glue. And then I'm going to lay that down, and where they land, they land. Like, I need to be okay with that. Trying to get them so that they don't go backwards. There we go. And I want to hold them down so that they adhere. And then any extra glue I can kind of wipe away, and then I can cut it afterwards too if it bothers me. Look how adorable this is. I mean, this was already adorable, but this, tell me that you wouldn't love getting a present with this on top of it. Cut this down. I have this little, I think it's from Dollar Tree, like in the party section, and I love keeping this because it's pretty, and then I just leave it on my desk and it catches, it's my little trash can. Okay, let's get our paper clip. And what's even more fun is if you have big paper clips, which I might have, so let me go check if I can find a big one, and that'll be really cute. I have this thing from my planning days, and okay, I told you I used to make these all the time. So I think I would want the gold, but I think the pink would be cute too. Ooh, that's cute. That's cute. That's cute too. I think the first pink though was the one that I think that just belongs there. I'm going to close this thing back up so that I don't go to pick it up later and then it falls apart. Okay, so now for this, we are going to glue it. I think the best plan of attack would be to glue this down and then to just glue a strip of paper behind it. So I'm looking to see, I'm going to put the glue here kind of there. Trying to keep my eye on where it was. It's okay if it goes extra. Ooh. And I didn't even look but to make sure that my loops were on the bottom, but they were. And while that's drying, I'm just going to hold that. You know, maybe we will take this one, since we've already taken this one to the next level, let's take it to the next level and let's make a little, is it too much to do another bow? No, it's not. I think it's a little thick, so I'm going to cut it down a little, maybe a little more. That's good. So now we'll do the same thing. I can already tell I'm going to have to cut this down a little bit, but on the edges. Oh, actually, I don't think I am going to have to. He's so cute. And I'm going to go one step extra and add some beads on this side too, because today's the extra type of day. So dainty and lovely. And I'm going to glue this down here, but then I'm going to, once it adheres in the center, I'm going to add a little extra glue on the sides to make sure that it holds really well. Because this one, I don't care if it's not like super fluffy, even though it's going to be because it's smaller, I think, but I want to make sure some of the edges stick. And let's do, I might be able to get away with just, oh, where's that? I think those are too big, and I think it's the wrong kind of shade. That's cute, but I think if I was going to do one, I might do the white. I think that's cuter. This is so sweet. And imagine giving this, if you're a reader, giving this to a friend with her book. Let's get rid of all that excess glue. Just so adorable. All right, now let's decorate another one. Let's take this one and let's add a little gold. We have regular paper. Grab a sheet of paper somewhere. I only have cardstock. Oh, here we go. So I'm going to take this, and in this one I am going to use the art glitter glue. So I've been looking up, every time I grab glue I feel like I have to talk about it, but I've been looking up the Petunia glue gun, and so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run a really thin bead around the edge right here, and then I'm going to just add some glue to it. I'll probably do one edge at a time. But anyways, I looked into it, and I think that I can only get it from the company itself. I think the others, like, it's more shipping. I don't know. If you bought one and you have a place that you recommend buying it from, please leave it in the comments below. I feel like it's a frivolous purchase, but I also feel like it will save me time in the long run. Here. So I don't know. The other thing I have on my wish list that I do not own is the Tim Holtz dryer, the heat gun. I think I add it to my Amazon cart all the time, and then I take it out. My husband's like, do you need that? I'm like, no, just wait. I don't know. It's one of those things, I definitely don't need it. Yes, it's functional. Yes, I would use it, but I feel like that is a splurge. I don't know. Some of you girlies tell me, is it a splurge? Should I just do it? Influence me. Peer pressure me. And what I think I'm going to do is I am working with this and I'm seeing it. This is a very fine glitter. It's very fine. It's not chunky at all. It's like one step above embossing. That's really pretty. But I'm thinking about adding some to the next layer, but in a different thickness. So I have that one. I have this one that I think is the same, like, it's milled, so it's finer like this one. And then this one is a little bit chunkier, so I think I'm going to go with this. Get my glue ready. And if you can get it to run in one solid swoop instead of, oh, it's pretty fine. So I think it's going to be very similar. It's just maybe a little shinier. Yeah, that's pretty fine. I'm making that line pretty thin. have such a busy week ahead of me, so I'm very happy to be making these right now. I'm a little, I wouldn't say stressed out, but a little on the stressed out side. We have 2 tennis tournaments this week. Our season just started, and we've had one practice, and then we missed a practice because my daughter was working and she couldn't change it. But anyways, and then we had one match, and then now we're having a match today, and then we're having 2 tournaments, one on Wednesday, so tomorrow. We have to be there at 8 in the morning. And if you know me, you know that's not conducive. Because that means, I have to pack up for us, and we're there all day. And then I have to come home, I think, for my son. So it's just, I'm going to have a long day. And then, so we're good Thursday, I think. And then Friday, we have another all-day tournament. So should I add more gold? Should I add more glitter like to the tails here? You're like, no, enough. But I kind of feel like maybe I'll go with the other one that's a little more opaque. While I put this in, it'll be enough time to rest my eyes from looking at it. And then when I go back to look at it, I can decide if it needed it, or if I should do it or not. Let's see. I kind of feel like maybe leave it. Okay, so that one is done. Let's go ahead and decorate this one. And for this one, I actually just saw on my desk, I really like the shape of the paper here. Oh, I did want to show you this for my tails. In this case, my paper was not long enough, so I cut 2 tails, and then I just angled them. And this will work too, because if you want them angled like this, because obviously your paper won't angle unless you twist it. And so that's how you can get that look. I was thinking, I have a black, like I love that. Oh, you know how this might look cute? Is like this. Like, I think that's adorable. Oops. Isn't that cute? And maybe I'll do another big one. White. I'll also have that one that's smaller. I think that might be the one. Should I do that one or the white? And we're just making a few of these, but the sky's the limit for you. You can take this to whatever level you want. This is my top. I think I'm going to glue this down first. I'm not even sure why I spin that glue, if it actually does help. I feel like it kind of doesn't. Let me go ahead and put this on top and then just twist it around. And then I'll add a little more glue. That's so cute. I'll add a little more glue. To the bottom here, so this will stay like this. And then I'll add a little here. Ooh, hot. That is adorable. Let's see for the center. I'm kind of loving those pom-poms that were on here. Look, I mean, both sides are so cute. Maybe we'll, oh my, I thought my nail just got stuck. It just got wedged. Maybe we'll add another bow on the back of this one. I don't think I have, but I do have this fabric and it's what I used. I also, I don't think I have enough of this stripe. Do I? Is that the same? No, that's different. What's on that? Yeah, I don't think I have any of that. I could do black and white, but I think because I added the black and white with the fabric, I'm not going to. So let's do this. Oh, I have one right here. And I want it to be small, so I'll probably cut it down a little. Oh, what am I doing? And cut my bow out. And you could also do other things other than just bows. You could put like a heart back there, or you could put a star, or like any shape you want. I don't know how I cut my center really thin, so I'm just going to go in and just cut a little bit more off. There we go. That's going to be hot on my fingers though. Because it's such a thin little strip right here. So I was talking about those pom-poms. They're so fun, and I'm looking, I have a little container that has pom-poms over to my left, and so I'm thinking maybe I'll add some. I also have some fuzzy yarn. I think that might be pretty. Let's eek. Eek, so cute. Okay, let's get pom-poms and yarn. And we'll figure it out together. Oops, 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 oops. Oh, I could also do this. Let's see. Yes? Yes. You're You're like, no, it's too much. I'd love to know, are you that's too much and the simple ones are cuter? Or are you a more is more? More is better. Either way, we can still be besties, but I still just want to know. I'm going to go ahead and do glue all the way around. Tell me you wouldn't find this at an adorable boutique. I should sell these. I feel like that still needs... It is burning my finger. I'm holding it together for you guys, but it's burning. Almost. Where are my pom-poms? Ah, I feel like the pom-poms might be, you know what might be cute? I love how I'm just doing it without even asking you if you think this would be cute. But I think two like this with one, like a larger one of these in the center. Oh. Like that. We're doing it. Call it done. Who thinks I'm overdoing the glue? Okay. While we're waiting for this to dry, I wanted to remind you today that you're resilient, you're valued, and you are unique and perfect. But most of all, I wanted to make sure that you know that you are loved unconditionally in every season, and you're welcomed just as you are. And I haven't done this in a little bit, but if you need a prayer request, and even if I don't comment on it, I read every single comment, and I promise you that I will be praying, as well as I know I have a lot of beautiful ladies and gents on here that will be praying for you as well. So I hope that you can find this as a safe space. And you can leave things if you just need a prayer, but you don't really feel comfortable saying what it is online, then just leave it as undisclosed and we will be praying. God will know exactly what you need. I think I'm going to cut this piece right here out. And I can just keep getting more and more and more into it. But there you go. I'm so in love with these. I know I keep saying it, but I really, really am. Now I feel like the front of this might need some more. Okay, let's just add a couple of little of these rhinestones like on the side. I can't get them to, I can't get it to turn. I need probably tweezers. I have some. Oh, I can't even believe that I couldn't do that if I tried. Okay, come on. There we go. What if we did like just a couple on each side like that? Is that too much? Is it? We could just do it on one side too, right? Like that, and just leave it? Or do we have to balance it and add it over here? One more, one more. I don't know. What do you think? What should I do? Oh. I like them like that. I could put this one down here too. I think I like the top better. I'm gonna leave them off, even though they kind of look like little freckles. Well, vote down below if you want them off or on. We're gonna attach them. I am going to use my art glitter glue for this one since it's the front, and this is going to let me be a little more precise. Hopefully that is enough glue to make them stick. This glue's pretty sturdy. The real question is, am I going to be able to drop them on? Close enough. One, we actually got them on. I'm going to hold them down maybe for like 10 seconds. And the glue did seep through, so since it did anyways, I'm going to go ahead and just add some glue and just throw them on top. We'll see later if I regret that. If I and if you wanted to be very precise, what I would do is I would grab tweezers. I'd hold on to the rhinestones. I would put the glue on the back of the rhinestone and then put it down. So if this stressed you out, then definitely do it the other way. I think we're gonna call it done here. I think as I made them even cuter. I made ones that I loved even more, and I'd love to know which one is your favorite. I think this one for me is my favorite, and of course this is a close second. But I think this one, there's just something about this trim is just precious, and I don't know. I don't know. This one's great too. So, and I love this one too with the glitter. It's a little more simple, and let's look at them on a journal. I'm just gonna stick them like inside like this because I have a small page inside here. You could also stick them on the front like this. We've got to fix that little skirt. tell me that doesn't make you swoon. Ah, too cute. Now I feel like this regular paper clip just doesn't even do it justice. I'm gonna clip it to this. Eek. No, this is too much. It's too pretty. I'm gonna put this one to the front again. Oops, where did my tails go? I'm gonna sneak those little babies right up here. No, too cute. Let's turn it. I do love a good story where the back becomes the front because it's too cute. That might be the case with this one. Look at that. So pretty. I hope that this video has inspired you today, not just to make these, but just to get up and create something today. It's something simple, something quick, whatever. Just make something with your hands, because remember that you were created to create. And everything you make, it's telling your story. It's creating a masterpiece, and you are an amazing artist. I thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed the video, I would really appreciate it if you give it a thumbs up so that you let other people know that it is worthy, and so that YouTube will push it out. And of course, if you're not subscribed, do that as well. I would love all of your comments down below of how you liked it, which one was your favorite, if you've done these before, if you haven't, if you have a different method. Let's talk. So again, and most importantly, if you have any prayer requests, please leave them down below. I thank you so much for being here and just for being a part of my life. You have enriched it to a level that I'm so grateful for. I thank you so much. Until next time, I love you. Bye.